Hi, everyone. Good morning. If it's morning for you, it is for me. I was kind of been processing something past few days and wanted to put it out there. Um, this concept, it's kind of like the concept of saying no, which, we've heard lots of from different self-help. And I think this process of saying no, or the ability to say no, has been so important, especially if you're like grew up being a codependent around narcissists and people that just kind of take advantage and all that. I didn't kind of realize that there is a whole other sphere where that need to say no sometimes or to assert yourself will be important. So that's kind of what's been going on. So I'll kind of illustrate, if it'll make sense to you, let me know. But some awakening happened over a year ago, and I've been in a like constant training mode. So it's either training with a coach or through the energy portals, and just on a daily basis. It's kind of just like nonstop training. It's like been boot camp. So the Lionsgate portal was, well, the summer portals were absolutely exhausting. I'm still recovering. And I was feeling a strong sense like I don't want to do any more trainings right now. And what ended up happening is a coach that I've been working with prior, I've had 2 trainings with him before. He reached out to me at a time where I really didn't want a training. We were going through the Lionsgate, and he started a new type of course. So and he's telling me about it, and he said he was guided to call me. He kept getting flashes of my name to call me for this new course that he's starting. So the past year, I kind of got, I trusted him, and I got used to how the guidance happens, like the patterns of how things came to me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm being clearly guided to do this. This is be the right thing for me. But I had a strong sense like I just don't want to. This is the first time. This would be the 3rd training with him, and I've done some others. And this is the first time I felt like, yeah, I see like I'm being guided to it, but I really don't want it. Like I just don't want it. Well, I didn't listen to that feeling, and I subscribed to the training. So when I subscribed to it like at the end of July, right when Lionsgate happened, and I kind of just thought, okay, maybe this training will help me through the Lionsgate, everything that's coming up, which was quite intense. I just kind of thought it would just help me out. So that's why it was being sent to me. Well, he said he was going to send me the training, the link to it, within the 2 weeks of subscribing to it. I didn't get it for over a month. By that point, I already processed a ton on my own, but with higher guidance, of course, what was coming up. So I'm like, I don't actually need this. Like, I clearly can do a lot of the processing on my own. And, being on the soul's path, like things are happening without the need of more training. Like in the middle of Lionsgate, I started a Facebook page for my business. So it's like, clearly I'm moving forward without the need of for more training. So I'm like, I don't think I need this. And I still didn't get the link for it anyway. So it's like, I don't feel like doing this. I'm ready. I got stuff to do. I was extremely busy with everything was happening without like opportunities were happening without a training. So he's like, no, this training is really helping. It's designed intentionally. It's a much longer training. And he said, he was like, no, this is going to really help you. This is for the long term, like all your dreams and stuff to come true. Um, and he's like, I'm gonna send it to you, but it's not complete. Like, I thought by that point, like it was complete. That's why I subscribed to him, but it wasn't complete. He's like, I'll just send you the first video or something and then send the rest. Like, I thought this was already ready. So I didn't get the full thing for weeks after that. So it was like way over a month at least of waiting for it. And then by the time it came, I'm like, all right, I'll get it done. I'm like, I'm really busy, but I'll just get it done whenever. So I think it's like a whole 2 months of not doing the trainings after I subscribed to it. And it was like, all right, I get it done. I paid for it already. So there must be something useful here. And it's in 2 parts. So I did the first part. There was some useful stuff, but it felt more of like a confirmation of what I already processed on my own. And then he said he was going to send me the second part, nowhere to be seen. And then I messaged him, let's say last Monday, and it's like, hey, did you send it to me? Maybe I missed an email or something. He's like, I'll send it to you. No, I emailed him like before that, and I'll send it to you Monday. Come Friday, I still don't have it. And I'm like, I'm just done. Like, it's just nonstop. Like, I was really shocked. Like, I mean, I trusted him, like, because I have experience with him. I'm like, what the hell is going on? We're already beginning of October. I subscribed to this at the end of July. It's been 2 months. Like, this is a waste of time. I got stuff to do. He's like trying to make it up with me by offering freebie, free session. Like, I don't want anything from you. I don't, like, you lost your credibility. Like, you don't get to buy. So like, I feel like this is more of a learning lesson for him and a learning lesson for me to trust that initial instinct. While I'm waiting for him to send me the link, other trainers are just kind of coming to my view. And I'm kind of like, maybe I should do this training. Maybe I should do this one. So I spoke to somebody else yesterday for another type of training, which was even more money. And that one is like on a topic like I've never heard before, and just seems even more advanced. Again, another one that just kind of sounds like if you do this training and these strategies, like everything is just going to come to you. All your dreams will come true. And I'm just kind of sitting. So I kind of told her, like, let me sit on it. I'm not sure. It sounds interesting, but let me just sit on it. And when I was sitting with it, I was like, okay, I was asking myself, what is this pull to these trainings to begin with? And I saw like I have these fears that if I don't do these trainings, that my dreams won't happen, right? It's just that's kind of how they present it. Even my coach I didn't like what he said, like it was a bit of fear mongering. Like, if I don't do this trainings, like up 30 years from now, I'll just be where I am and I won't be. Like, what are you talking about? I know who I am. I'm a light worker. I already know who I am and like who I came to be here. So, and I understand that there are so contracts, things happen in their own time. So it's not true. It's not true that 30 years from now I'll be miserable, regretting. And it's like, okay, something here is just not right. Like, I know things happen when they're meant to happen, and I'm already on my soul's path. So how much do I actually need all these trainings that will say they will put me on my soul's path and manifest all sorts of things for me, where in reality it's like it's already happening? So I stood back, like to look at it, like what am I actually, what is my subconscious beliefs? And I'm not saying those trainings are not good. I'm just saying, is this what I need? Do I actually need this or want it? you know, and I kind of went back to that feeling like I really wanted to take a break from training. The energy portals themselves are quite intense and carry a ton of information with them each time. Like right now, we finished with the Lionsgate. It felt like barely a break, and we went, I guess, the summer equinox, whatever, summer solstice, whatever, one of those. And now we are in planetary retrogrades. I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I'm just like, okay, well, that makes sense. There's 6 or 7 planets in retrograde right now. And the past few days, I barely slept. Like for 3 days in a row, I definitely did not enter REM. And then after the 2 days after that, I think I have, but it's like, I think they are dreams, but it's just messy. It's like all night long dreams, totally like messy. So, and all day, every day for these past 5 days now, I've been feeling like jittery nonstop. Like it's almost like I'm on constant caffeine, which I'm not. I have a little bit of coffee, but it's as if I was just drinking coffee nonstop. And I was like constantly feeling so it's like these energy portals feel like they bring shit up. Like imagine if you're like a car, a vehicle driving fast on a dusty road, and all the dust goes and then it just kind of settles a little bit, but it's like the landscape already has been shifted. So each time this energy portal happens, it's kind of how it feels, and each portal has its own lessons with it. So but the training themselves, they're very precise. So they target specific things, and the energy portals are messy. They're just like, deal with it. And you're like, oh, okay. And you start sorting things out. So it's a different approach, I guess. But to me, it's like, why spend time on trainings at this point where I'm already given my trainings through the energy portals? And I've demonstrated to myself that I can get through them and with my lessons without the need of a coach. So, and also is just, I really just want to give myself a break. I haven't had a vacation. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm in New York City. I'm stuck. I don't have a car. I borrow my dad's car. You know, my only outings is to the park or the beach. Like, thankfully, those things are nearby. But even when I go there, I still feel the energies of others. I pick up on stuff. So it's like it's still work. It's not rest, it's work still. Actually last weekend I was able to go to the park finally. I had a lake there, and there it just felt like finally some peace. So I'm gonna go again. Okay, finally found a little place for me. And it's like I feel like I made the final decision to not do any trainings for a few months. And that's my vacation, basically. I know the energy portals aren't just going to keep coming. They're going to be intense, and it's enough. So there's no need. And the worry was like, oh, I'm not going to have all the things I want if I don't do these trainings. You know, I'm not going to meet my twin flame. I'm not going to grow my business the way I envision it. I'm not going to get out of my parents' house if I don't do these trainings. And the coach is like, try to convince you that's not going to happen if I don't do the trainings. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right anymore. I know there's soul contracts. I know I'm here for a reason. You meet your twin flame when you're meant to meet your twin flame, not when you do some kind of work. um I know, like, I watched twin flames on YouTube who were just bumped into each other, um and that's what triggered their awakening. So, like, they didn't actually do anything other than just live, to meet their twin flame or their partner, whatever. So yeah, that's kind of like me finally asserting myself to these experts, right? And I just kind of never thought of it. Like, we have the medical experts that a lot of us are like fighting against right now, and like the authority. And for the year, I've been following all these teachers and coaches and all of that, and I saw them as the authority. And I just kind of never thought to distance away fully, or to challenge these types of authority figures. And it's kind of more of, I have no problem challenging the medical community, even though I'm part of it. Like, as a speech therapist, I'm part of the medical community. But I have no problem challenging them, like the 3D. And now it's like challenging, I guess all these coaches are more of like the 4D. It's interesting. I just never considered that there's more people to move away from after a while. Challenge their position. I mean, it's not that they're wrong in their approach, it's that their approach is no longer needed by me and other people's too. Maybe it's just not time for that, and my gut was telling me I need a break, and I didn't listen to it because I succumbed to the authority. So I think that's my learning lesson for this energy portal. That's what I'm. So I started myself to the other training too, and to the coach. I just said, I'm done waiting. I'm not interested anymore. I really want a refund, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And I have zero interest in the training that I subscribe to. And then I just told the other person I spoke to yesterday that I just decided not to for now. Like, there's plenty for me to do. There's plenty of energy work to do right now. And the fears, I think what was pushing me to, yes, let me get these trainings, it's the fears that I'm not going to move out of my parents' house, meet my twin flame, get the house I want, get the clientele I want, get the business size I want. Like, if I don't do all their trainings, I won't get all these things. And fear is not a good motivator, right? Like, if you're motivated by fear, you got to address that, because that's not a reason to pursue something, which what showed to me, like, that's why I was looking into these trainings. It was motivated by fear, not by the desire to I don't know, to grow or whatever. I already have within me that ability to grow anyway. So just by recognizing that I was motivated by fear, I'm already growing through that, learning my lessons. So I didn't need a coach to tell me that. Yeah, so it's an interesting shift, right? It's kind of really relying on the coaching and what it seemed like guidance, but it's like sometimes when you're guided to something, you don't know the actual lesson. You might assume that this is a lesson because what you're used to, but you don't know why you're actually guided in a certain direction until months later. And then you look at it like, oh, Like things didn't work out the way you kind of assumed they would, or how you're used to it working out. Which is more of that push to trust your own instinct, trust your own gut, trust your own voice instead of the experts, the coaches, the and what you think is the guidance. So it might be something totally different.